Jim, welcome back to Meadow Lane. It feels so long since I've seen you because obviously we had matches back to back in the build up to the end of the season. How do you feel about signing your deal?
Yeah, I'm buzzing. Really happy. Not long after the manager came in, I had a sit down with him and I told him my plans, that I didn't want to go anywhere. I wanted to be here, and so just to get it done is it's a bit of weight off the shoulders.
Speaking of weight off the shoulders, it's a 2-year deal. Just how happy does that make you, in the sense that you don't need to worry too much in the short term about your future?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been in the game long enough now to realise this happens and it's a part of it, and you've just got to try and take your mind off things during the summer when you're out of contract. It's difficult, but it's just one of the things that you need to do in football. And so to get 2 years here it's magnificent for me. It's job security. It's good that I can be at home and be with my little boy, and that's one of the main reasons. But to be here and be at a club that I want to be at, and the 2-year thing, it doesn't really take away from the fact that you're focused on the job at hand, and we know where we want to go, and you don't take your foot off the gas just because you've got a 2-year deal now.
After you scored your hat-trick at Maidenhead, you did a great interview with us where you said, your body and all the stats, are pointing in the right direction for you. You feel brilliant. How are you feeling after a few weeks off and looking ahead to pre-season?
Yeah, it's been okay, just relaxing and taking a load off really, because we did have a lot of games. I didn't make the semi-final because of a little groin problem, but that just came with the amount of games that we had in such a short period of time, and I think if it was maybe halfway through the season and we had a fully fit squad, it would be maybe like a bit of rotation, be able to rest a game and get ready for the next one. But as we were pushing to try and get those promotion slots, and it just sort of took its toll in the end. So yeah, I mean, I'm maybe a week behind maybe where the rest of the lads are, but I'll be ready to go, and I'm working on my strength work and my running stuff just now, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, it was full Jim O'Brien in the run up to the playoffs in terms of the energy and the forward runs and everything that you usually bring. Just how much were you enjoying your football in that Ian Birchnell sort of system, which obviously took us very close to promotion? Yeah,
it was more get the shackles off and go and join in, and I think the messages were clear in the meetings that we had as well, and we wanted to get as many bodies in the box as possible, and the way we play with controlled possession and stuff, it allowed me to do that, and all the messages that we had in training, the shape and the rotations and the runs, and it was all very clear, and when it came to a game, it was sort of second nature to myself and the other lads who were in the team.
Michael Doyle's obviously taken a step further towards coaching. That leaves you as the quotation marks elder statesman of the midfield. You're the longest serving player, Jim. You're falling fully into that experienced player category now, aren't you?
Yeah, but once you get to 30, you're the wrong side of 30. People start labelling you that anyway. So I think experience comes with games, and I've played a lot of games. Nowhere near what Michael's at, but a lot of games under my belt, and got to help the younger lads now, and just help the new lads try and settle in as much as possible, and get the manager and Doyle's messages across on the pitch as much as I can, and getting that team.
Last few weeks, you've been able to spend a bit more quality time with the young lad.
Yeah, it's been good. Just having whole weekends with him and stuff as well, and I went up to see my family in Scotland, so I hadn't seen them since like August last year, which was really nice. So yeah, but he's still at school just now, so it's still a bit. It's not a holiday time, so it's back to reality once I come back from Scotland, and back to the normal routine. But no, it's been nice.
Speaking of back to the normal routine, Monday pre-season training starts again. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think it's pre-season number 17 for me, so they don't really get any easier. But spoke to the manager there, and he says the balls are out on the first day, so that's always nice. That's the modern game now, is get the balls out as quickly as possible, and get a feel for it again, and get back into your stride.
Just a word on Ian Birch, and I think fans will be interested to get your take on what it's like to play under him, and how you feel that he impacted things last season.
Yeah, well, you've seen I think the way the game is now, like managers and coaches and stuff, they don't really get time, and you've seen how long it sort of took to get a little run going and for him to get his messages across, and there wasn't a lot of training time, and this is how important training is, especially nowadays. You need time to settle in and get your messages across, and I think once the manager did that and he had that time on the training pitch, I think it sort of clicked after that full week's training that we had, because there was no Tuesday game. But yeah, he's got his message across. Everything, all the messages are very clear. There's no doubt going into games in any players' heads what their job is, and I think from that point of view it makes it really easy as a player to go and sort of put a stamp on the game if the messages are clear and everyone knows what their job is within that unit.
It's an attractive way to play, and it's a difficult way to play because you obviously need a lot of technical ability, a lot of composure, confidence. Is it complicated as a player to play in that sort of system?
No, it's when the complications come when teams maybe line up against you to frustrate you and stop you, but then I think as players individually you've got to maybe try and come up with something different, whether it be a different run or a different kind of pass or playing maybe a little bit more direct.
And we see that with you, don't we? Especially Maidenhead's a great example. You were making some fantastic runs into the box. You could arguably have had a couple of other goals that game.
Yeah, and I think that lands on the players on the pitch as well. You can play to a structure and be coached as much as you want, but teams aren't going to let you just play your game. They're going to try and implement their game plan on you, and I think what the manager's quite good at is recognising things early and maybe making a small tweak, which he did a few times towards the end of the season, or maybe it might be an early sub, but it always seems to be a proactive one, it's not reactive. So I think from that point of view, but from a player's perspective, I think you've got to try something different if teams are maybe sitting in and you've got to try and break them down.
It's going to be another tough league next year. You looking forward to the challenge of winning promotion with this club?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's one thing that I said to the manager towards the back end of the season when I was chatting with him is I like the expectation of having to win every game here. Like I said before, you probably won't win every game, but you've got that expectation going into the games that you're expected to win, and that drives you on every day in training as well, and you need to keep your standards high, and I think I enjoy playing and training with that pressure.